Let's create knobs another way. This time we'll create the parameter first and then add the knob. I'll create EG intensity with a control change of 79 and EG release with a control change of 75. And then we'll create two knobs and assign the new parameters to them. Shift-click all four knobs to align them. Let's make a little space by moving them down and add a label. Label it Real-Time Controls A. Now let's drop in a fader. Create a parameter called value. Choose Control Change 20. Change the fader name to value. Now that we've added another item, we have to move everything around again to make room for it. So it's a pretty good idea to get a picture in your mind in advance before you start making a panel. This will save you tons of time moving objects around. Change the minimum and maximum so it says 0 and 127. Now choose Data Entry from the drop-down here and drop one in. We're not going to create another parameter, but we're going to link it to value. Now let's test it by moving the value here. Everything seems to be working fine. Now let's add a switch. This will be switch 1. Set the control change to 60. And again, we've added another item, so we have to move everything around again. And this one's going to be switch 2 with a control change of 61. Rename them switch 1 and switch 2. Or SW1 and SW2. Let's resize the data entry box a little bit to keep it in line with the fader. Activate Test Template again to try it out. Everything seems to be working fine. Now we're done. Let's exit this window. Make sure you press Save and close the MIDI device manager. Now create a new MIDI track. Send the output to the device you just made. Connect it if necessary. Go to the User panel in the inspector and select the device. You might have to click on this again for it to appear. Now we can control our synth. Let's cover up a few loose ends here. Go back to the Access Virus panel and notice that the logo here is a bitmap that you can import in. Go back to the panel via the MIDI Device Manager. Right-click on the panel and select Import Bitmap. This makes things look way more pro. Take a look at the All Templates section. As you create more templates, you can copy and paste between them. Let's create another panel for the mixer, so pick Channel Strip Size and name it Control for Mixer. We can go back to the first template and copy the parameters from it using Control or Command and C. The channel strip has less room, so you'll have to resize smaller. Align everything nicely and close the save. Now open up the mixer to check it out. Not too shabby. When you add control change parameters, you can specify a minimum and a maximum value. You can also specify a default value, which, as the name suggests, the object will default to. Sometimes 0 is not a good option, especially if the control is for volume. Now that gives you a head start on device panels. Have fun experimenting and creating your own.